Hi there, I'm David Wilson, brand ambassador and lead trainer for Isuzu UTE Australia's iVenture Club, and welcome to another one of our tip series. And we're going to dive into the big hill country, looking at those inclines and declines. Here's something to remember for whenever the country becomes steep or it gets boggy, and that is to get the car into low range, because that way you'll maximise the torque at your disposal and get up and down that hill in the safest possible way. You know, if you're going to go into steep country, you're going to have to make an adjustment to your tyre pressures. And I like to use a mid-20s PSI point as my starting point. And quite often in the really rugged stuff with lots of pointy rocks, being prepared to go down as little as 20 or even 18 PSI to maintain that essential forward progress. Not only all of that, but we need to look to pick the right line as we're going up that hill. You always want to set yourself a dead set vertical path when you're going up the hill. Never run diagonally across the face of the hill. And you'll find that there are natural grooves and perhaps even existing wheel ruts there to give you some guidance and something to follow. You know, there will be one day when you probably won't get up that hill first crack. So if you do get stuck halfway up the hill, don't make the mistake of using Angel's gear, and that is pushing the clutch in on a manual and rolling down the hill, or selecting neutral in an auto and doing the same. Don't do that. Put it in gear, get it in reverse gear and drive it down the hill, leveraging the motor's engine braking and using that torque to your advantage to get you safely back down the bottom. You know, there's an old saying, what goes up must come down. So we're going to stay in four-wheel drive low range because that's going to give us the best control for getting down that steep hill. Going down a really steep hill requires you to go as slow as you can possibly go, and first gear is the go for that. So if you're in a manual, first gear, get off that clutch pedal. In the autos, select first gear, get off the brake pedal and head on down the hill. If the vehicle starts to overspeed, there's nothing wrong with just gently caressing that brake pedal just to wash off some of that terminal speed. You know, going downhill, first gear low range is good, but hill descent control in really steep country is better, and it's likely to become your best friend. Now, hill descent control works by pulsing the brakes as you make that steep descent. So once you've engaged the control, it sets the car up at a default descending speed of around about 4 kilometres an hour. And here's the real beauty with hill descent control. By pressing on the brake pedal, you can adjust the speed back down to your new low speed threshold. If that's suddenly too slow, get on the accelerator pedal, squeeze it up to your new preferred speed, take your foot off the gas, and it learns that that's the speed that you require. It's really clever. Now, to engage hill descent control, you want to do that whilst you're in gear. So if you're in an auto, don't leave it in neutral or park, won't work. If you're in a manual, you want either first or second gears in the manual or reverse gear, and then it will activate. Disengaging hill descent control is really simple. Push the button, watch the dash display. When the display light goes out, you know you're good to go. Well, today we've learned all about how to climb up and down those really steep hills in our Isuzu D-MAX and MU-X. We've found out what four-wheel drive low range is all about. We've also learnt the advantages of using hill descent control to give us the maximum torque and get us down that hill nice and safely. For more tips and skills, head across to the Isuzu UTE Australia website, where you'll learn heaps on how to drive your vehicles out in the field and go your own way. And you can also stay connected and join up with Isuzu owner events at iVenture Club, and you'll find that at iventureclub.com.au.